Hi there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for stopping by today. I am super excited to share that I am a new member of the Visible Image Stamped design team, and I am so excited to share my very first design team project with you. And so today I'm going to share this project using several Visible Image stamps, and let's get started. So the first stamp set is Scripted Streets. The stamp set is called Imperfection is Beauty, and then the last stamp set is Face It. And I'm going to start out by grabbing my Misty and some VersaFine Black and using the Face It stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp up the lips, the nose, and one of the eyes. This set has a pair of eyes open and the pair of eyes closed. And so I wanted one eye open and one eye closed. And so then I'm going to grab that other stamp and just set it right over. It's really easy to line that up and go ahead and get the other eye, which is the closed eye. I love this stamp set because it is really customizable, and what I mean by that is you can add hair to it, you can add a jawline to it, you can add different features on the face. It's just really, really awesome for those that like to color or create but don't necessarily have the skills to draw like me. And so that's why I really love the stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and take the scripty words from the Scripted Streets stamp set. I'm just using some antique linen distress oxide. I wasn't sure if I was going to add water to this, and so I went ahead and I heat embossed it with some clear embossing powder. The paper that I am using for this is actually the Accent Opaque White, which takes a little bit of water, but it's not great for a watercolor marker coloring, which I try to do on this anyhow. And so after I've gone ahead and I've done that embossing, I'm going to grab my embossing pen and go over the lips. And then I'm also going to use the Lindy's Chalk It Up embossing powder, which is kind of a little bit of silver. It's got little flakes of kind of brown in there. And so I went ahead and did that for the lips. I actually went over that twice with the embossing powder to make sure I had most of the black areas covered. And then here I'm going to go ahead and grab my Tombows and do a little bit of coloring on the eyelid, and you can see that that does not move. Usually I use Bristol for watercoloring with markers, and so that's why this did not really want to move too much. But after that, I take this chalk pencil, and I don't get these out very often. Somebody I really love uses these, and so I just had to have them, of course, but I haven't really found a place to use them, and so it was really great to use that to just do a little bit of light color over the eyelids and also on the nose. And then I'm going to grab the flowers from the Imperfection is Beauty set. I do a first layer of color using my Tombow markers, and the colors that I'm using on that flower in Tombows are 757, 569, and 379. So there's kind of a maroon color, a little bit of a purplish blue, and then more of a blue color, or a teal color actually. And so I'm just going to place that color around the center and then bring that out with my water. And then I'm going to grab my magical shakers. These are in Time Travel Teal, Magnolia, Magenta Gold, and Bavarian Blue. And I'm just going to match the colors up with the flowers that already have color on them, with the exception of the one that's kind of the purple color. I did not have a match, so I just used that Bavarian Blue. So these are powders, and so I'm sprinkling that powder on my flower and my flowers, and then I'm going to take my spray bottle and activate that color. I am using a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock for this, because it does take a decent amount of water without warping or affecting the paper. And then once I've got that water spritzed on there, I'm just taking my paintbrush and moving the color around a little bit. And I wanted the flowers to air dry as much as possible, and so I set that aside, and I'm going to go back to the card panel, and I'm taking the Distress Oxide in Antique Linen again. And I'm using this flower from the Imperfection is Beauty set. It's got a lot of like splashes, and I thought it would be a little too difficult to cut that out fussy cutting, and I really wanted to capture that detail, and so I'm just doing it as a one layer on the card. And I'm using my stamping block because I don't need it to be a perfectly clear image, because I knew I was going to take these flowers and layer those on top. So once the flowers have dried, I'm going to take some black soot Distress Oxide spray and splatter that, as well as some white acrylic spray. and then I will fussy cut those flowers out. And then I took the Imperfection is Beauty sentiment and stamped that up in VersaFine Black. And then I'm going to go ahead and try and figure out my layout for the flowers. This took me quite a bit. I wasn't really sure. My main idea for this card was to kind of make it seem like she was peeking out of the flowers. And then I didn't really like how that looked, so I just kind of did the best that I could with placing those flowers around the edges and the side to balance those out. And I'm just using my tape runner to adhere these. And then I'm going to add a little bit of detail using my white Posca pen to the white of the eyes, and then I will take my black Posca pen and just go back over the eyelashes and the eyebrows. If I was confident enough to stamp this again with my VersaFine Black, I would have done that, but I didn't want to risk not getting that image on there perfectly, and so I just chose to go ahead, and it was easier to use that a black paint marker to go ahead and go over that and kind of bring out that black a little bit more. I also go over the flowers using this black pen for a little bit more detail, and then I'm going to take some Creative Expressions 3D pearl drops and add that to the flowers as well. And then to finish the card off, I'm going to add a gem to the nose as kind of a nose ring, and I don't have a nose ring, so I wasn't sure where to place it, so hopefully that's where a nose ring goes. And that will finish off the card. I really love how this turned out, and I hope you love it as well. If you do like the card and this video, please go ahead and give a thumbs up. I'm so excited to bring you additional videos and projects using the Visible Image line, and I hope you'll return and catch me for more videos. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.